degrees, and be like, well, do you like the heat or do you like the cold? Well, I'll tell you what, my fingers and my toes never hurt when it was 120 degrees.
You
out.
like it where you can feel them.
Exactly. And I mean, I can drink water, but when you're cold,
what can you do?
Yeah,
There's a limit.
Yeah, it is. And I went to Ranger School as a winter ranger, and that's
a winter ranger.
Winter ranger, and that's we pride ourselves on that because it sucks going through Ranger School. It already sucks enough, but then going through in the wintertime, it just amplifies that level.
And everything is harder. Everything is harder.
It is. It is.
All right. It's quite amazing. Hey, everybody. It's Tom Gresham. We're in the Gun Talk booth. And, of course, this is brought to you by Palmetto State Armory. Glad that you're here. We're at the SHOT Show 2019. We're having a bunch of fun talking to some really interesting folks. One of the more interesting folks we're going to talk with, Chris. Thank you so much for being here.
We
got Chris Pronto.
I do.
You know him as Tanto. One of the guys who was there at Benghazi.
Yeah, I can't believe we're still talking about. Well, I can believe it with the misrepresentations that are still going on.
I was just going to say, you have to spend the rest of your life correcting the lies about Benghazi. You really do, because you were there. You were on the ground.
You know, but it's getting better.
Is it? I mean,
people are starting to see because we've pulled away from that, and during that time frame, there was a big election going on. And then also with the Hillary Clinton election, too, with the Trump one, we're getting farther away from that. So people that may have tied Benghazi into that election,
right?
They're not anymore. They're starting to finally see it.
They're actually looking at Benghazi as its own event and not as part of an election campaign noise and all that.
And I see that because I speak everywhere. I just got done speaking in Southern California last week. Who thought you're speaking in Southern California? And it was to a group that was half and half conservative, half liberal.
For those who don't know, give them your background.
Okay. Well, I started in the Army. I was an Army Ranger. For those of y'all don't know, and this was I have two books out. One's 13 Hours that I wrote with the other members, the surviving members of the team, and Mitchell Zukoff, fantastic person. You have to bring a real writer in when you have Marines and SEALs and Rangers trying to write a book, because we turned it into hash shit, and it was like a pop-up book, coloring book. But then I wrote The Ranger Way, and you know, that was about failures of my life and overcoming those things, and also other events. Because I deployed for 10 years as a contractor with Blackwater, Ocean Hunter Group, Nexus Security Consulting, anything from anti-piracy. I was one of the first 6 to be an anti-piracy contractor after Captain Phillips. I was attacked, which was fun. That was a fantastic. But contracted in Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, Libya, South America, Central America. But that event that night that we're talking about was, of course, 9/11, 2012, on the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya.
Right.
And I was part of the CIA Annex security team who responded to that attack. And, of course, there was a book, 13 Hours, What Really Happened in Benghazi.
Right.
And then Michael Bay, I think he did a tremendous job. He kept us involved. I believe it was very accurate because he allowed us to be part of the process.
Right.
Him and Erwin Stoff from 3 Arts, fantastic production company. We did the movie 13 Hours, and people are like Michael Bay, and I was the first thing when I was skeptical too. I was like, Michael Bay.
Really?
I mean, I love him. The Rock was fantastic.
Yeah.
But Armageddon, but it's Transformers CGI.
Right.
No, he loves veterans.
No kidding.
He is an amazing. I admire what he does because he puts 110% into his job, and anybody that does 110% for their job and their craft, I admire, whether I agree with that job or not. And he did that, and he loved veterans, and because he had enough respect to keep us part of the process.
Right.
And the movie turned out. People ask me, is it accurate? Yeah, it's very accurate.
Okay, I mean,
very, very accurate.
I know that the movie's good. For somebody who doesn't know anything, but I'm really encouraged to hear that it was actually accurate as well. And
because we were there, and we were part of from the script writing. We had another tremendous script writer. People don't know who Chuck Hogan is.
Yeah.
Hogan wrote the Strange series. If you're into that vampire stuff, he works with Guillermo del Toro. He wrote Prince of Thieves, which is the script for The Town, which has won an Academy Award. That's Chuck Hogan.
Okay.
And Chuck's like, yes, be part of this process. And we made corrections on the script. So it was like, no, that didn't happen.
That's not what happened.
This is what happened.
Yeah.
And it was never an argument. It was never, it's got to be Hollywood. We're going to Hollywood it. It was, okay, we'll fix this. Okay, we'll fix this. The only thing and you have to do it in this movie magic, and it is.
Sure.
It's in all the movies. And I'll tell people this right now. RPGs and 203s, you do not see a vapor trail. If you watch any, you don't see that. You don't see.
But they have to do that, otherwise you wouldn't even know it's in the air.
Exactly. And I told and that's how responsive Mr. Bay was to us. I said, Michael, they don't do that. He goes, Chris. Actually, he called me Tanto. He goes, Tanto, if I showed what they actually did, which is just basically a flash of light when they
And then a
explode,
boom.
and a boom. People in the movie theater would have they would see flashes everywhere and have no clue what's going on, and that made sense.
That's
to me.
where you tap into his expertise
Yes.
to say, look, for us to tell the story,
Yeah.
I have to do this.
And he could have said, you know what, you ass. And I'm sorry, I didn't. Is that okay?
You did
I didn't?
not.
Okay.
That's good.
He goes, he could have been the biggest jerk in the world, and he wasn't. And he
By the way, if you
explained.
got any questions for Tanto, if you ask them right now, we've got folks right here. We can relay your question. You can answer them real time for you.
I
Okay?
would love to. And
All right,
but he was very respectful, and he explained it, and it made sense.
It occurs to me, you got this incredible military, special operations, contractor background, and now a lot of what you're doing is sharing that with everybody else, because your business now, a lot of it's telling the story, man.
It's about applying the lessons learned from Libya and also from Ranger School and from being in Iraq, and basically guys like myself and women like myself that go through a lot of those experiences, we're able to get through them because we've failed so many times. And you figure out how to pick yourself up. And
you
move
learn
on.
more from failures than from successes.
Always,
right?
always. And any successful person, if you go back in their life, you will see that they have failed many, many times.
Yes.
The only difference is they pick themselves up. Like my dad used to say, get yourself back on that horse, son. Once you fall off it, get back on, and you move forward again.
There's nobody who's been really successful in business who hasn't had a number of failures.
Oh, no.
Because you have to do that to figure out what not to do. People say, well, what do you mean you learn more from failures? And I say, look, when you succeed, you go, yeah, high five, that was great,
Yeah.
and you move on. When you fail, you sit there and you process it
Well,
over and
we
over and
call
over.
it doing active action and after action review, after action report. Where AAR is what we used to do after any missionary training. You come back and you say, okay, what did we do? What did we do wrong? What did we do right?
Right.
And then you work on the things to maintain the things you did right, and then you work on the things to improve that you did wrong. And that's life. That's how it is. And when I wrote The Ranger Way, really, if people read it, it's about, gosh, they read it like, man, Tanto's screwed
what a
up.
screw
God
up, man.
dang. He just won't stop moving forward. He won't stop fighting. But that's how you be successful.
All right, so tell me what you're doing these days. What is this?
Exactly. Hey,
What?
God speaking here. We've
okay.
got any classes coming to the Midwest, perhaps Illinois.
You know, I got you on that one. Actually, yeah, we do work with a Daniel Defense. Not Daniel. I'm sorry, Devad Defense.
Okay.
South African police officer. I love him.
Ah.
If you're in the Chicago area, look up him. Devad Defense. But we do classes right outside south of Chicago. And the Midwest, I'm in Omaha.
Okay.
And the majority of the Battle Line class, they're talking about the Battle Line, my training company,
Right.
Battle Line.
Battle Line.
Boone and
There
I
you go.
started it. Boone may be adjunct, but he's no longer part of Battle Line, but he also trains in Florida. He wants to be home with his family more, and he's a tremendous instructor. If you get a chance to train with Boone in Florida, please do. And he also works with the Fire Base Combative Study Group, which is a
Okay.
fantastic organization. But Battle Line primarily will be in the Midwest because I live in Omaha. But I have a range in Kiefer, Oklahoma that we'll use more. And then also Alloy Arms, and then Nashville at Tread Proof. Alloy Arms in Whitesboro, where Larry the Black-Bearded Cowboy. Love him. He's one of my instructors, Larry Stevenson. He has a story in his own right. Former Denver police officer, a fantastic person. He has a tremendous story in his own right. People will get to know him about.
Okay.
But then also Tread Proof, which is a training and tactical facility in Nashville. And again, hey man, who doesn't want to come to Nashville and train and then go out at night?
All right, so you've now moved from shooter to host.
Host, oh yeah.
So tell them about this project, man. This is really something.
Yeah, well, and I don't know how I fall into these things. My publicist, she vexes me constantly, but she actually does a pretty good job. I know she probably heard that. Now she's going to ask for more money.
Oh well,
but it's all right. But anyway. War Heroes, the War Heroes series, or War Heroes docu-series, I guess it's called.
Okay, first of all, how do people see it? What is it?
Well, the first showing will be tomorrow at the Palms. I have to be there at 6:30, but I think we have a VIP reception starting
here in Vegas.
Here in Vegas. They're doing it's like a soft opening.
Okay.
But it's about Gold Star family.
Really?
The family, Sergeant Ryan Doltz passed away in Iraq serving his country.
Okay.
And it's really about the family and how how do you handle it? Actually, that's a failure. It's not. But how do you handle adversity and continue to move forward and be positive? And it's interviewing the family and honoring Sergeant Doltz. We don't have a lot of series about Gold Star family members. We have a lot of series out there on History Channel, Discovery Channel about guys that have sacrificed.
Right.
But we don't come back and actually talk talk to the family and make the family the focal point, and that's what this is.
And what do they do, and how do they get through it, and all the rest of it?
Exactly. Dealing with adversity.
Yeah.
How do you handle it? And you know, I think it will help other families out, and I hope it picks up and does well.
This is going to be available throughout. The idea is to be able to get distribution throughout the country.
You know better than I do.
Okay.
Now
this is going to be at IMAX Theater right here in Las Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah, at the Palms.
Tomorrow evening at the Palms. And then the idea is to try to get distribution as far as we can. Let's see. If you go, I tell you what, I'm going to give this website out. Okay.
Go ahead.
If that's okay with you.
No, it's my website. So
yeah. So you're okay with it. It's christantoparanto.com/events, and it's KRISTANTOPARONTO.com.
So
Chris,
you spelled my name better than me.
I had to look at it.
I couldn't even get there. But we'll have another opening, the major hard opening for it, which will be in New Jersey, because that's where the family is at the end of February. So this is kind of like a teaser, like, hey, let's see how the response is. But I really am happy to be part of it. Believe me, I have no idea how I even got to be part of it. I have no idea how I even got the public figure stuff, how I even got the book. I have no clue how any of this has happened. It's just happened. But
well, it's not luck, I can tell you that.
You have faith. Faith in something.
Stuff happens.
Yes,
you know, first of all, you got to show up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, am I right?
You got to be there.
You got to be
there for the game.
Nothing's going to happen if you're not there.
Yep.
You got to show up.
You got to be. If you don't show for the game, you're going to lose, because there's nobody there to play for you. You
Chris,
got to be there.
The word hero is thrown around a lot.
No, I know hero.
It's thrown around a lot. All right. Okay. You the man.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it.
No, seriously, thank you.
And you guys are fantastic, and I appreciate you having me on again. I had fun. I love interviews where I get a laugh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we're always going to laugh, even if we have to just make fun of people.
You can make fun of me. I got broad shoulders. Believe me, there's people out there making fun of me right
now.
That's
guarantee.
fine with me. Make fun of me. I could care less. Look at this face. Does it care? These shoulders are broad. Do what you need to do.
Chris Tanto Paranto, hero of Benghazi. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, sir. God bless you. Have a great day.
Take care. We'll be back in just a little bit with more from the SHOT Show.